so many lines, so many choices. Luckily for us, technology has progressed enough that we can run the options, crunch the numbers if you will. We can use a GPS signal combined with the Lit Pro app to actually run these different lines and see which one is the best. So, put your betting cap on. Which line looks the best to you?
What's up everybody, it's Mitch here with Fit for Moto. Thanks for checking out another video. In today's video, we're getting out of the garage, we're out at the track today. And today we're gonna be doing something a little different, but kind of the same. We're gonna be talking about a section on the track where you can pick different lines and different ways to get through it quick enough. I'm also gonna touch on something that a lot of slower or newer riders will commonly do, that if you can pick it off and get better at it, it's gonna save you a bunch of time. So with all that said, roll the intro, let's do it.
We've all been there, looking at a corner but not really sure what line to choose. So, inevitably, we choose the line that looks the best to us. That is, usually the one that looks the most beat down. But that might not be the best line choice. But how would we know?
Now right off the bat, there are a couple things that I will see, like I said, newer or slower riders commonly do. They're gonna stick in that main line. And what I mean by that is it's the same line that everyone takes throughout the day. And usually that line is just set by the guy that's first here and first cuts a line into the track. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the fastest line. So how do I know that? Well, on the main line, it's either the darkest soil or the spot that looks the least groomed or has the biggest braking bumps or something to that effect. That's how you know that's going to be the main line. So if you can avoid that, open your vision a little bit, search for lines on the track, you're going to find a quicker way to get around there.
So with this corner, we really have four choices. That is, of course, if we're setting aside, cutting down early, taking mid lines, etc. So we're just sticking to the basics here. We can go inside, inside. Or we can go outside, outside. But what about inside, outside? Or outside, inside? Which one is better? Or do they really just end up really being the same?
Now there's going to be a ton of different factors that come into play when figuring out which line's going to be faster, and I get that. Can you rail the outside? Are you really good at braking and you can brake hard to make that inside line? Or maybe you're setting up to make a pass on somebody else. There's a bunch of different things, but all things created equal, with me being your guinea pig, can I hit the same lines and the same consistency and figure out which one's going to be faster for you on the track? Let's figure it out. Let's use the GoPro and the Lit Pro. Let's figure out which one's best.
To make this fair, I picked the exact same spot on the track right before this section for each line choice. So really I'm only checking the line choice differences for that small section of track and not a total lap time. That way I can eliminate as many errors as possible. And also we're going to allow for some GPS error, of course. Starting with what is pretty much an even time, first let's try to look at what would be the most common line, the outside inside. Now for the average rider, this line choice makes sense because when you look at the corner, you got a big outside bank so it's safe to hit and it naturally guides you to the inside line. And yep, that's what most of the riders are taking. The problem with that, of course, is that if you can't rail the outside line and you end up having to slow down for the single that's on the inside line anyway, that can lead to slower lap times. Total section of time, 0.2 seconds slower than the quickest choice. Next, let's look at the second most common line I do see the average rider taking, which is the inside, inside. The inside's a little easier because you can slow down for the inside line. You don't just send it in there like on the outside berm. Then it's kind of a straight shot to the next inside line, so it actually makes a lot of sense. Total section time, a surprising 1.05 seconds off, and I attribute that a lot to having to slow down to make the inside line, but then also slowing down for the single after. Next up, the inside to outside. This would be a less common line because it's tough to gain your speed again after cutting hard to the inside, and the bike wants to steer straight, not to the right when we have to swing outside again. Nonetheless, total section time, well, that picked it up a bit at 0.4 seconds faster than the inside. And last, my favorite, the outside. Now here's why this is my favorite, not just because it's the most fun. But you can carry a lot of momentum around the initial corner, and that matters because the momentum leads right into the next corner. Instead of having to slow down for the single beforehand, you can carry that momentum all the way around the outside, never slowing down, never letting off the gas. Total section time, 0.6 seconds faster than the second best, which was the outside-inside line. So after all that, allowing for some degree of GPS error, of course, the outside is the quickest way to get around that corner, followed closely by the inside-outside. One of the bigger factors here in determining the speed is, of course, that the single that most guys slow down for, you could just launch it off there and save a bunch of time if you have the suspension that'll handle it. But for the most people, the outside seems to be the quicker way.
There you have it. The data has spoken. Is it what you expected? Are the line choices the inside-outside, the outside-inside, whatever? Is it going to be what you thought was going to be the fastest line? If so, that's wicked. You're well on your way. If not, I challenge you to open up your vision quite a bit and try and search around the track. Get out of that main line. Like I said, that's a really common mistake. Get out of the main line, find a fast way around the track. Let me know in the comments below if you picked the right one or if you're still searching. Either way, I hope you liked the video. I hope it helped you in some way. If so, smash that subscribe button for me. You know I appreciate it. I hope to see you out here, or I hope to see some video of you riding somewhere. Get after it. Stay safe, ride safe. We'll see you in the next video.